show, but fuck it. See, the issue we need to realize about women is that they're not that introspective or desiring of analyzing the world or trying to figure out things like the logic of how to improve the world, or like the pride of having legacy, or like, you know, just impact, just having that masculine testosterone kind of authority, like I did something, I'm here. Women are more into being in the moment, playing, being in their emotions, being happy, kind of escaping the obviously intimidating reality of them having to grow a human in their body, give the human milk, tolerate the human's screams. See, women don't really think that much. They kind of follow each other around. That's why you'll see some women a bunch of them will like follow the quote-unquote alpha male around to try to. It's a primitive thing. All of it's primitive. The whole makeup and high heels, and you know, guys don't even like all that stuff. At least masculine guys. They want, you know, a meek woman who's not trying to show her body and display herself to the world. They want somebody who thinks their body's valuable, and women don't really do that unless they have a father who's over them and giving them a sense of guidance and security. And so you'll never be able to convince a woman of this, because the only way it's possible is if she had a caring and an actual, not just caring, but an actual father who knew what to do. You know what I mean? So that's part of it. So this whole thing of, you know, women being promiscuous whores and wanting to have, you know, sex with, you know, whomever, with, you know, bad boy kind of character with, you know, money or big pee-pee or whatever. All of that is a result of not having a good father, not masturbating with a dildo to control their, you know, desires. Just like men, I encourage to obviously do that too. Masturbate with a dildo. No, I'm kidding. With a Doc Johnson Celebrity Stroker is my continuous recommendation. And then what else? I wanted to add like a few precursors to the conversation. The other one is that this idea of all this, like the idea of alpha, it's like it doesn't work. It doesn't work because, you know, it's not, the only thing that's alpha, quote unquote, is to have a virgin wife and create a society that manifests and promulgates that kind of culture. Like beyond that, you're not alpha. Yeah, if you think that you're sleeping around with a bunch of women and outsmarting the game, because all those women are surely sleeping with other men, even if it's other alphas, but still, the meaning of life is celebrating vulva, and that part of that consists of treating women's bodies as sacred and you know, only sex after marriage. Because if you really think about it, it's like, what does a man offer? A man offers relationship, right? What is a man is the gatekeeper to marriage. Only the man can propose marriage, and that's how I plan to do it. When I'm ready for marriage, I'm just going to go up to a woman and say, "Hey, are you looking for a husband?" You know, it's like all these stupid games men play, acting like as if they're just talking to the woman, or you just want to get to know them. No, you'll have more clarity when you're in a position of financial and emotional strength where you say, okay, I'm ready to, support a family, and even if you don't plan to have kids, you should think as if you have, or you're going to have kids, because you're inevitably going to be supporting and helping younger people throughout your life, and you want to imbue your set of values and interests. You want to give that to whoever you're, that's the meaning of life, and that's how marriages stay together, as long as both people have the same, desire to be what they want to, who they're going to be. Just a second, guys. Let me. I just figured something out. I'm putting a short pair of shorts. I'm putting a pair of shorts on my arm so the sun doesn't hit them. It's on the driver's side of as I drive. So that was a good idea. Or a shirt would work too. But all right, let's get into this. So let's get into this. So yeah, this whole thing about, and then like guys, like being around other guys, a lot of times a relationship will flounder, and the guy's other male friends will try to steal the woman from him first, and maybe he'll be trying to console the woman, and then what happens is he might end up stealing. And so this is a problem, obviously. But the point is it's a consequence of the whole culture of not properly, not realizing that we as men collectively, it's our duty to manage women and create a world that the feminine. I know there's some people will be like, screw you, but most women would rather be in their feminine and not be working, but rather working to fucking raise their children, rather than working and then paying someone else to. Come on, you guys. All right, so moving forward into the main subject matter. So pee-pee size. The reason I use the word pee-pee is because I don't like to say words like dick or penis, because to me it feels gay to say that. And this isn't a diss towards the gay community. Of course, I'm hoping that they pay attention to my work too and see how it can apply into their lives. But this is like, okay, so simply speaking, most women, I think, have a larger vagina because it's meant to have, a child grow, and, it'll get looser once they have children and all that. But let's consider that it's not about like, oh, will woman be attracted to me and my pee-pee. It's what it's really about, okay, is it's about, will a woman, will my wife want me and my pee-pee? And so what you can extrapolate out of that is, will you want her vagina, her vulva, right? And so a loose vagina is the same thing as a larger pee-pee, right? And so what's happened in culture is, culture has become matriarchal, where the women don't want to let the father run the home, where because men and women go to school together, the women kind of take over because they have more advanced social skills and they like to talk like twice as much, so they end up crowding the space. That's why it's so important for men to not be around women when they're growing up. Like, then there needs to be a healthy separation. And so when you're thinking about it in terms of you and your wife, like, even if your wife likes a bigger dildo size, right? But what's important is that all that, like, it doesn't matter if guys have bigger peepees and you think that they might want it, that all the women might want to have sex with them. All that matters is that, or like if women have bigger breasts and all the guys want them, that, you know, that all that is consequential is whether or not people are having premarital intimacy. Because if they're not, then it's like it's all good. Like, hey, maybe it's fun to watch a couple that has exaggerated sexual features, and that's entertaining. But in reality, we can all get a lot of pleasure out of each other. And also, it's not celebrating and focusing on goddess V, vulva, to focus on the inner sex and the pee-pee and sexual intercourse, because that's more about the pee-pee and about the guy dominating the woman, and it's not celebrating vulva. Vulva celebration is either the woman displaying her vulva, like at a strip club, or the guy giving her oral sex and complimenting her vulva, rather than hoping that she'll give him, you know, rather than him wanting the attention of her complimenting his pee-pee and giving him oral sex. Is that, of course, that's going to happen, and people have fun with that. Couples, you know, they have fun with each other. But the trouble is that all right, what's the trouble of it all? The trouble... The trouble of it is all that... Okay, so let's just redirect the conversation. So, like... think about it in theory. Like, let's say you're, you know, as a guy, you watch pornography and guys with larger peepees. Obviously, that's not gay, because you just like the aesthetic aspect of the woman getting, you know, the image of the sexual experience. You know, it's visually entertaining. Just like a woman with larger breasts and a big ass might be, but it's better to have a fit woman with a flatter chest, because that's going to result in longevity, less likelihood of cancer. If whenever you have sex of stuff like excess fat rolls or breasts, that's gonna, of course, cancer is gonna form in there. It's just there's no proper circulation. You know what I mean? So. And also takes more than, because vulva should be 50% of life. Like, as an adult, it should take up 50% of life. You know, life should be oriented around it. And so even stuff like feeling bad emotions, like feeling, let's say, embarrassment or anger or anything, it's giving mental space, and it's worshiping all these other things when we should be worshiping vulva, thinking about vulva, making it life about it. It's like a playful flower, you know, and that's who we are. That's where we came from. You know, it's goddess V. Spelled with a capital G, nigga. And capital V as well. So society likes to kind of focus on big things like big cars, big houses, big, breasts, big pee-pee, but all that stuff doesn't matter compared to Goddess V. Goddess V defeats the opposition. So, but getting back into it, so let's get technical here. Women seem to, if you watch porn, they seem to prefer an object of like maybe 7 or 8 inches, or maybe even more, in their vaginal canal. And the reason is because it activates the A spot, which is at the back, which even some sex therapists don't want to make reference to because they want to make, men with smaller peepees feel okay. But the reality is, if anything, it should be that women should be embarrassed because they have a bigger, looser, deeper vaginal canal. But that's not, we don't want to make women feel bad about that, and we don't want to make men feel badly about, their pee-pee size or women's breast size, because these are all private matters. These are all for the individual to decide and ascertain. And then you might say, well, yeah, but people do have to have sex to make sure they're compatible sexually. As fucking adults who masturbate and know their bodies and have a sense of what they want and what they, absolutely want or don't want, people should have the discernment to be able to say, okay, yeah, I want this, and after, the secret is conversing digitally. We don't need it. In the past, they sent notes to each other, but now all we need is to use the benefits of the modern age, which is sex toys for men and women, and which is digital, email and even voice call. All this you can talk at a safe distance. All this stuff about dating, going in dates in real life, you're supposed to only do that with your spouse, because that's the fucking way that you show that, hey, you and I, we are together. So that's where I'm at. Hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling good. And it's all about vulva. And the instant you discover that, you'll be at peace. Even if you, for example, go to jail for the rest of your life, just to know that vulva is what we are in existence, then it'll make you feel okay. And what else? Any other thoughts? So the whole big pee-pee thing, well, people can, it's like, it's like all this stuff only matters if people are they're being promiscuous and having premarital intimacy. That's only when it comes into play, like, oh, well, is she gonna cheat on me for a guy with a bigger pee-pee or whatnot? Or is a guy gonna try to seduce her? But if we respect that, people that seduced and, were like ladies, women, and players, quote unquote, those type of people were killed back in history because they upset the stability of society, and they preyed upon women's ability to be manipulated. I'll have more on the subject. It's time to jump into a work mode here for me, but let's talk more soon. I'm really excited about what I've shared so far here, but there's more to say. But for now, and thanks for the one person viewing, I'm gonna say aloha.